to have you on with us today. I hope you had a great Monday, and now here we are into the second day of the week. Does it feel like a strain to you already? And you have another Wednesday, Thursday, Friday before you get to the weekend? I hope that's not the case. If it is, that's what I'm here for, to give you a little bit of some help mentally, physically, and spiritually so that you have a better day today, moving forward and into the weekend, and then for weeks and months and years to come. That's what I'm here for. That's why I have been coming to you for the last few months from my home. It's the Real Monica Adams Home Podcast. And then we are going to be at Mark Anthony's tomorrow in Kirkwood, and so close, crossing my fingers. I've got in my head a day that I'm hoping that we can cut that ribbon and go to you live from the studio. Why have I not been back in the studio? Well, that's because I don't want to show it to you until it is ready to go, which is so close. Good morning, Linda. And hi, Vicki. How are you? I hope you're all having a wonderful start to your day. We've got a lot to do today. Hopefully you saw the shout out yesterday, as well as the picture that I posted about an hour ago, letting you know what's coming up. I know some of you have been asking, hey, is there a rundown so that I can know what the topics are going to be for the day? And I always try to do the rundown for you in the morning, first thing when we come on, as well as right as we're wrapping up, so you know what's coming up. But one of the things that we talked about in our meetings yesterday, our staff, our team that's putting this wonderful show on, is to give you that little heads up 24 hours in advance as we head into the weekend, to let you know what in fact we are going to be doing and the topics that you've been giving me. So please, if you have a topic that's weighing heavily on your heart and mind, or you want to make, you want to laugh, you want to cry, you want to make sure that the community's in the same place as you are, just let me know. We've got topics now for the probably for the next, I'd say, week. But then we're going to need to start getting some more topics. Obviously, I've got a lot in my head as far as what I want to cover for you, but I want to hear from you. So let's say good morning. Love the earrings. Well, thank you, Carrie. Sean, Kim, good morning to you. Good morning, Pamela, Janet, and Angela. How are all of you as far as your mental health is concerned this morning? I hope you're going good. Cheryl, good morning to you as well. If not, well, hopefully today is where we can help you just a little bit. So let's get underway, okay? So we are going to talk today about a few things. One, the dark side, and that's why I wore black today, right? It's like Star Wars. The dark side of perfectionism. You know, we all have a tendency to want to be so perfect, and it can be exhausting at times. We're going to talk about the dark side of perfectionism. We're also going to continue our devotionals. I've got 4 books here, hoping to get that 5th, and who knows, there could be more, but I'd say 5 is good because that's going to take us through probably a year and a half. So are you devoted to me? I'm devoted to you. For the next year and a half, we're going to be going through this. It's going very good. I'm happy to hear that, Janet. Eldon, hello. Eldon's coming on with us in June. Another sponsor, Eldon Heating and Cooling, and I'm so thrilled to have them. My house is better because of how wonderfully cool it is here in the home when it was not. In fact, as you'll see on the bottom crawl here, if you would like to become a sponsor of this show to make sure that we can continue changing lives together, just look at that information, shoot me an email, and we'll be good to go with your business, your message. That was one of the things that I said is, you know, we can purchase the things we need in life from anywhere, right? But when we hear the mission of a family locally owned business, and you think, okay, well, that's a locally owned business and this is a locally owned business, but wow, did you hear what that person wants to give back to the world? Did you hear about their family? Did you hear about the hard times they're going through? Did you hear about the hard times that they overcome? Well, that is when I want to go and support that business. And that's really what I want here on the show. That's what is aligning with us. So right there's the email address, info@therealmonicaadams.com. If you want to shoot me an email, you have any questions about how you can be a part of the show, that's it right there. And I want to thank Invita Health and Wellness, by the way, because they came on with us immediately as our title sponsor, and they Dr. Sarah was on with us on Friday. She'll be on with us again in about a week and a half, and we'll be talking about IV hydration therapy. We'll talk about IPL facials. We'll talk about all of the aesthetic things that they can do, but more importantly, what they're doing to change lives from a ketamine standpoint with mental health and depression, as well as vitamin C treatments and what they're seeing, incredible treatments that are helping those with cancer patients. So Just thank you, Dr. Sarah and Jamie and the staff. They're located at 333 South Kirkwood Road, and you can give them a shout out and just see if it's something that will work with you. And then, again, there's a free consultation for that. So thank you, Dr. Sarah, and I want to thank Jeff and Toy from Aldon Heating and Cooling, two big sponsors that have come on right away, believing in what we're doing together. Well, how are you? Let's say hi to some more people. If you're just waking up and you're new to the show, welcome aboard. Love having you. We've been doing this for about 2.5 months now. We started March 1st, and it's incredible just how organically it's come about, of you giving topics that are in your heart and in your mind and how you want to change the world. Let's see. Angie, I said good morning to you. Ann Donnelly, how are you? My mom popping on. She says, love you. Well, I love you, Mother, as well. Good morning to you. One of the things that I started were these books, and you're going to see these on my set. As soon as we get on the set, they'll be behind me here. My husband, so sweet, is making me a floating shelf. And we're going to put these on there. I think they look incredible, first of all, just right. So nice, beautiful pop of color. But it's 100 Days to Freedom. And I reached out to Stephen Arterburn's assistant yesterday, hoping she gets back with me today so we can get that set up. 100 Days to Freedom from Fear and Anxiety. 100 Days to Freedom from Depression, 100 Days to Freedom from Shame, and 100 Days to Freedom from Anger. So we were talking about how all of these really kind of blend together. So you could stay with just one book, and you could flip through 100 days of being in an angry place. But I thought, why not take a little bit from each one of those, because many of them lead into the other. Don't you agree? Anger, shame, depression, fear, anxiety. And the other one that he has, that I know for sure, if not even more, is 100 Days to Freedom from Overeating. And where does that overeating come from? That dark side of suppressing everything. We're going to talk about the dark side of perfectionism today, but one of the dark sides of life when you are just derailed and you're all over the place is that all these things, all these emotions have been suppressed so hard that you blow up like a volcano. And that's where the anger comes into play, right? You're so angry at the world. You're so angry that life doesn't have you where you want it to be. You were going along in life and everything was great and you felt blessed and you felt like you were on top of the world, and then something happened and it pulled you down. Okay, then you feel ashamed. Well, there you go. Leads right into shame. And then you're depressed. And then you're fearful of what's going to happen in life, right? Boom. There's all 4 books. So we're going to read from one of these for you as we continue Stephen Arterburn's 100 Days to Freedom. Now, we have already done the 100 Days to Freedom from Fear and Anxiety. We did that 2 days in. 100 Days to Freedom from Depression. Hello, my little helper. So Adelaide just came in here. We've done those for 2 days. So now we have to get into shame and anger. I'll let you choose. What would you like for me to cover for you today after we go through and talk about the dark side of perfectionism? Is it shame? Or is it anger? We can do either. And as far as what's coming up, besides today, the dark side of perfectionism, breaking habits is hard. And that is, I always talk about you can take 14 days of a person's life, and in those 14 days, if they do something every single day for 14 days, they will have formed a habit. Well, that happens in life whether it is good or bad. It can go both ways. So we want to form healthy habits, but it literally only takes 14 days to do so. So breaking habits, if it's a bad one, breaking habits is hard. That's from Carrie. And then fakeness. Oh, something I cannot wait to talk about that one. Fakeness and how to not fall into their game. That is from Tammy. That's going to come up for you on Thursday. And then I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that we can get into the studio maybe by Friday, but we're not going to push it. If it's not ready to go, then when I'm in that studio, let me tell you what, it is full blown. It's going to look incredible. It's going to feel incredible, and it's going to be flawless. And everything that I want is going to be on that day and all the days moving forward. So if in fact we are able to do that, that would be incredible. And I'm going to have a special guest if he is willing to join me. So I'll let you know about that. That's what I'm hoping to come. So I'm holding off on the topic on Friday because it's possible that we might be able to do a little surprise for you. And it's possible we might be able to cut that ribbon and be in the studio on the 17th floor. You've seen the pictures, right? I saw a post that I had from, by the way, I'm just kind of a little side turn here, a little caveat. I think it was about a week ago. I posted a picture, maybe 2 weeks ago, talking about the transformation of the office space. 35,000 people looked at that, and I was like, you are all so excited about this with me. I just think it's incredible that we have this unbelievable community that's been tuning in every morning at 7 a.m. In fact, in the very early days, remember we were going on about 6:30, and some people are writing me privately saying, hey, is it possible, Monica, that you could go on earlier? Is it possible you could go on for 2 hours? Hey, look, everything's possible, right? Just the word itself, separating, when someone says it's impossible to do that. Nope, separate that word. I love when people say this. It's separated into I'm possible. Yeah. We are all possible. Let's try to do that together. We're going to grow this, but let's grow it organically first, and then we'll go from there. Let's see. Michelle's up and Adam, one of my moderators. And then I want to introduce, I don't know if she's on yet. If she is, come on, give a shout out. Caroline Meert. Yesterday I met Caroline, a wonderful, beautiful young girl. You met her as well if you saw yesterday's show. And, you know, I'd love to talk about mentoring and mentorship and what that means to get you to where you want to be in life. She is our new intern. She's from Syracuse, New York. That's where she's going to school. She's from here. She doesn't live too far from me, actually. And she has now joined the team for the next few months. We've got her. And I just can't wait to see what she blossoms into. Michelle and Caroline, you'll see them on the comment threads, and they might be able to help out a little bit, might be able to answer if I am deep into a thought or a conversation. If you see anything from Michelle or Caroline, they're on my team, and they'll help you out as well. Michelle was commenting on Invita Health and Wellness. They're not the title sponsor. Invita is the title sponsor, but I know that's something that people had thought, hey, can I be the title sponsor? Can I get in the naming rights and things like that? No, Invita is our title sponsor, and I'm so thrilled to have them. So when we go to you live from those studios, they are the Invita Health and Wellness Studios. Now, are there other aspects of sponsorships available? You bet. Just like Aldon Indoor Air Quality Specialists, we welcome you, as Michelle said, to the Real Monica Adams family. And others, I have 4 or 5 proposals that are out that I'm hoping that they will be getting back to me today or tomorrow, and I'll be able to tell you about more that are coming on board with us. And so you'll also see that Michelle will do hashtags to get others to understand that we're talking about them, like 100 Days to Freedom from Stephen Arterburn, New Life Steve, hashtag New Life Steve. If you want to do the same hashtag and let him know that we're talking about him, that would be great. Richard, anxiety, anger, depression, you're right. They are all combined together for some people. And Richard, don't think I've forgotten about you, but I have an organization that I want to come on board when we talk about being disabled and having disabled friends and living with a disabled person. That's Richard's topic, and we will definitely be talking about that. Don't you worry. Don't think I've forgotten about you. Shame. Okay, Carrie says, let's do shame today. You've got it. Dana, good morning. Good topics. Caroline, there she is. Josh, good morning. Good morning, my dear friend. I haven't seen you in forever. Have a great day to you as well. What topic? What qualities? Hold on a second. Make a good mentor. All right, mentorship. Well, that's just going to fall right into, I think that's going to be next week, if I'm able to do the surprise guest. Mentorship, because we're going to go a little deeper into that. Great. I run a nonprofit organization for disabled vets. Richard, reach out to me and give me that organization's number, please. Marilyn, good morning to you. Carla, good morning. And yes, how are you? All right, we are closing in. It is 7:15 in the morning, and you're listening to the Real Monica Adams podcast, brought to you by Invita Health and Wellness. And thrilled to have you on board. So we're going to talk about the dark side. Ooh, that's why I wore the black. There goes the dark. There goes the dark side dogs. Perfectionism. So, how many of you exhaust yourself every day, day in and day out, trying to be perfect? Michelle, yes, please give us contact information for the disabled vets. I have somebody that moved into the office space who runs Grunt Style, and that has to do with vets as well. It's an incredible organization, actually several legs off of the organization. And they said that they have probably the most profitable clothing line, I think, for veterans. So look them up, by the way, Grunt Style. Yeah, I'm hoping to have them on as well. So we're going to get to 100 Days to Freedom from Shame. That's what Carrie was asking. And then we'll go ahead and do anger tomorrow. We'll also give you some things to give you your value back. How many of you exhaust yourself on a regular basis? Michelle said, hashtag Tessa wants to run the show. Yes, she does. She absolutely does. And Adelaide was running after a deer this morning, so I was out in my pajamas running around in the yard. I'm going to give you a funny story before we get into the dark side, because I think we all need to laugh. I told this story to my mom yesterday. She was cracking up. Told this story to one of my clients who called to kind of give me an update on where she is in life. And I said, hang on a second, I'm walking the dogs, okay? Get ready for this. Can you picture this for me? Just go here. Walking down my very long, steep hill. And that hill, by the way, my husband says, if you want to give them an idea of length, is the length of a football field. But it has this it has this incredible decline or incline depending on which way you're walking. Well, we were walking down. Hi, baby girl. Come here. We were walking downhill, getting ready to start our walk. Yes. And it was Tessa and Adelaide and Opus, all of them together. Come here. Come here. Thank you. Come here. And so you've got Opus, who we are pretty sure he's a city dog. He was, all three of them are rescues, by the way. But we think that he was abused. He shakes and he's very timid, and socialization's hard for him. And he pees and poops on concrete, which is something I've never had in an animal. So that's very foreign to me. When we first got him, my husband was like, why is he peeing on the concrete? Why is he pooping on the concrete? Okay, go with me. Here we go. We're walking down the hill, walking down the driveway, and we're not a quarter of the way down, and I feel a little tug. And whenever you get the little tug, you figure that's the dog just trying to stop and pee. Well, I turn around, and there he is, going downhill of the driveway, and he's squatting, and he's pooping. Okay, so here's the funny part. We're on a decline, remember? So the poop is doing what? The poop is starting to roll down the hill, and it's just coming out, and I just start cracking up, and the poor little guy is like looking like, hey, Mom, there's nothing I can do. It's coming out me this way, but it's going that way. And then, I'm sorry, this is so funny to me. And then the other two are standing there very patiently waiting, and all of a sudden, one of them just rolls right between Adelaide's legs. She looks at it like, where the heck did that come from? And it just keeps rolling and rolling. It's like the perfect round circle. It rolls and rolls and rolls, and then it goes off onto the side. So I got to stop the dogs, turn around, pick it up. Of course, I'm a very responsible pet mommy. Bring my bags with me when I'm walking. I pick it up, and then I go and get that one that landed in the grass. And then here we go again. Now we start to walk down. We're 3/4 of the way down. I feel a pull again. And now the poor guy's peeing. And we're still going downhill. So, as you can imagine, it's like a stream of water from rain or from a hose. So here comes the stream underneath him, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Can we just get to the bottom of the hill? And so we get on the way. Poor little guy, some of it got onto his paw, so we got him over into the grass and got it off of his paw. We get to the bottom finally, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so hilarious. I wish somebody was filming this. And then as we get to the bottom of the hill, we start, and he squats again. And I'm thinking, how is there any poop left in you at all? I mean, seriously, I think he must have been holding on to it for like 24 hours. So he goes again. I turn around, I go to pick that up, and the dogs follow me looking like, oh, is our walk over? We just started. We literally just got down the driveway, and they looked like they were ready to go back up and go back home. And I'm like, no, we haven't even started the walk yet. So I grabbed that, put it in the trash can. Fortunately, it was coming up on trash day today, so trash can was down there. Threw those both in. We don't take 20 steps. Now I've got Tessa over in the grass. She's going poop, and then we walk up. So just as long as the driveway is, we got this long steep hill to get up out of the subdivision. And now he's starting to stop again and look at me, and I'm like, you have nothing left in you. Please tell me you've got nothing left in you. Now he just wants to pull and go back home. And I'm like, nope, we're going for a walk. And so that was my day yesterday, and I couldn't stop laughing. Adelaide went as well, but she went in a normal place when we got up to the top. So As I told you, I want to be as real can get. This is the Real Monica Adams podcast, and I named it for a reason because I always want to be authentic and real to you. I want to give you real stories. I want to make you laugh so hard, and then I want you to think deep into your soul. We might cry together, but I want to laugh as well. I'm much more about being a big goofball. Caroline, who's now I told you, my intern, that's now on the team, she saw the real side of me yesterday, and I was like, look, this big goofball, that's who I really am. Anyone who really knows me know that I have just the heart of a child, and I just want people to be as real as possible. So when we talk about fakeness in a couple of days and how to not fall into the game of fakeness, just understand I'll never be fake to you. I will give you so much realness that you'll be like, wow, I never knew that the Monica had this in me. So good morning to you, by the way. Let's see. Yes, Tessa wants to run the show. Dudesplayground.org. Is that what the name of it is? Uh-oh, I just lost that. Where did it go? Good morning. Good morning. Have a great day. Oh my gosh, I got to go back. It's not as easy as I wanted it to be. Okay, I run a nonprofit. There we go. Good morning. Good morning, Eunice, to you. Marilyn, I say good morning to you. Carla. Tessa wants to run the show. She's exhausting along with her crazy sister Adelaide. Okay, Richard said dudesplayground.org. All right, Michelle and Caroline, can you make sure that we've got that so I don't use it? I think that deer may be back. Yeah, I think so as too. I think that's what the barking was about. Terry, that's hilarious. She said just roll with it. Adventures of Adelaide, Tessa, and Opus, co-starring their humans. Carrie, you know what? That's so funny you say that. I look at the two of them for sure, Adelaide and Tessa. And I think that I should write a kid's story because it would be the adventures of the adventures of Tessa, Adelaide, and Opus, and it would be how they can just get you to come out of your darkness, right? We're talking about the dark side of perfectionism today. Talk about how animals have unconditional love and bring you out of the darkness and just completely change your world. I've been thinking about that for a while. We might want to do that because they are hilarious characters. Chasing poop. It is hilarious. That was a good one that you told today. Thank you, Janet. Yes, hashtag dude is a dog. Huh. I say what you see is what you get. You got it, Linda. All right, we got about 32 of you on. Some of you have had to pop on and off. 7:23 in the morning. So yes, there you go. I wanted to make you laugh just a little bit. We're going to get to the 100 days to freedom from shame in just a second. But let's talk about perfectionism, okay? Let's be honest. Can we all be honest with each other? Can we all be real with one another? Hashtag darkness to light. I like that, Caroline. How many of you on a regular basis, and I'm going to tell you right here, I'm going to raise my hand because let's be real. How many of you regularly try to be perfect every single day? And at the end of the day, you just are so exhausted that, and some people say, Monica, as you get older, women especially, that it gets harder to sleep. And I'm like, not for me. And I think it's because I go so hard all day long. So George, who I introduced you to yesterday, and I also had him on the day that I sat in the studio when it was just a blank four walls. I brought him in. He brought me a tea. This morning I'm not drinking tea. I've got my water. And this one says, love your life. Be honest with me. Just go ahead and type to me since you can't join me. And tell me how many of you, and you can do the little raising your hands if you want to, how many of you on a regular basis try to be perfect? Perfect for yourself, perfect for your family, perfect for your friends, perfect for your boss, perfect for your coworker, on and on and on and on. It's exhausting mentally, it's exhausting physically, it's exhausting spiritually and in your soul. Everything we talk about here when you try to be so unbelievably perfect every day, every second of every day. It's me. I have that syndrome inside of me. I got to be perfect. I got to be perfect. My brand just launched. I have to be perfect in broadcasting. I have to be perfect and the best trainer that exists. I have to be the best stylist that's out there for you. I have to be the best mentor. I have to be the best motivational speaker. I have to be the best MC. I have to be the best auctioneer, let alone be the best wife, be the best fur mommy, be the best daughter, be the best sister, be the best aunt, great aunt, best friend, acquaintance, coach. Holy cow. Did I just get to 22? That's exhausting. Is it not? So we are imperfect human beings. We're human beings. We were made in the likeness, if you believe, of God, who is perfect, but in the likeness, which means we're not completely there. We can be the best version of ourselves, but why do we try to be so perfect for everyone and everything? Answer that. So sometimes I like to do a workshop like it will be when we get into the University Tower building. We have buildings where it'll be a very private, maybe 20 of us, 25 of us max. Then we might build it to 50. And then there's going to be when we take the stage and I have guests on, and that's that full-blown TV show that I've always wanted to do. 250 people, a live audience. And I'll be walking around to you and we will do a workshop together. And this is just a little example of what we want to do. I want you to write down for me, what is perfectionism to you? Just answer that first of all. And then tell me, are you trying to be perfect for everyone and everything? How's that going for you? Seriously, how does it work? So for me, I feel like I'm taking on the world. And then sometimes, here's what happens when you try to be so perfect. You look at everyone else, and if they're not on the standards of what you're doing, then you sometimes feel like, well, I almost want to say that there's resentment, that you look and go, hello, can you see I'm drowning here? Can you please help a little bit? Well, the problem is you've never asked for it. You don't delegate because you don't think that somebody else can do it as good as you. I do have incredibly high standards, okay? Anybody who knows me knows that that's true. But can you answer me this? Because I've got three questions out there to you, and I'm going to give you some time. I'm going to light this candle. I'm going to light the candle to bring us out of the darkness. We are in the middle of the dark side of perfectionism. All right, so, oh, I didn't light. See? Come on. Play with me here. There we go. So, answer those questions for me, okay? And then I'll read some back. And let's light candles together. Oh, it smells good. So, what is perfectionism? You got a little workshop to do here with me. I know it's 7:27 in the morning, but I'm asking you to go with me on here. I want to try to help you not be so exhausted like me day in and day out. We can help each other. That's what this is, right? This is a community of being there for one another. So what is perfectionism? Do you try to be perfect for everyone and everything? And how's it working for you? Okay, you can answer any of those. Chime in. Just type into the comment section. Okay, let me go back here. Jamie, good morning to you. Jamie, if you're still on, how many times have you tried to be perfect? I know, because I used to train with him, and I know that he and I are so similar. He's the male version of me. Carrie, all right, Carrie, here you go. Perfectionism is an oxymoron for me because you are focused on what is imperfect and not what is perfect. Okay, so that's interesting. So we look at the things that are wrong, we look at the faults, and we try to make them better. We try to erase what's not perfect and make it perfect. But we're exhausted because it never gets... In fact, this is one of the things that I use with one of my clients who exhausts herself and runs marathon after marathon, Ironman after Ironman, 100 this, 150 that, and that's not enough. So let's go for 200 miles. Let's do... That, to me, sounds exhausting, and more so as a coach, what I hear is you are beating up your body so bad that you're going to pay for it, right? So I'm not saying that you can't do some running, but this is me. As a coach for 25 years and an athlete my whole life, all I see when people run long distances is what they're doing to their alignment, to their spine, to their cervical area, to their low back, to their hips, to their knees, to their ankles, etc. I could go on and on and on. They blister their heels, they ulcerate their heels, and they keep going. That sounds a little crazy to me. Why would you want to put your body through that? Now, doing something that will get you to your goals that's not so damaging to the body, doesn't that seem to connect a little bit more? But the reason I say that part, and again, if you're a runner, that's fine. That's what you want to do. I don't mind going out for a jog, but it's those really long distances that I've seen people just beat their bodies up. And then when they're older, they're like this. Well, they're always running after something, literally and figuratively. They're running after something, and it's not enough. I'm talking about the great distances. And the reason I say this is because I have actually done my own poll of the people that I know that do it, trying to be so perfect out there as the athlete. Everybody's watching. Oh, well, I already did a marathon, so I got to do more because they've already seen me complete it. So just from the athlete mentality, the heroism athlete mentality of being perfect, it's, oh, well, now I've got to go do a half Ironman. Well, now I got to go do an Ironman. Oh my gosh, well, that's not enough. Let's talk about the people who do a 5K, 10K, Tough Mudder, Battlegrounds, Warrior Dash. I mean, I could go on and on. That falls into the perfectionism as well. Like, people are watching you as an athlete. Well, I already got this award. I already won this trophy. I got to do more. Are you doing it for yourself, though? Or are you doing it for the watchers, the people on the sidelines cheering the name. Go, Quentin, go. That's my married name, by the way. Or Adams, the real Monica Adams. So it's Adams Quentin. Go, Adams Quentin. Go, Adams Quentin. Go, go, go. Okay? You got this. You can do it. Yeah, I can. Go. Yeah. Go. Yay. Exciting. I'd be more excited to do it for myself, wouldn't you? But it sounds like you're out there doing it for the applause of everyone else. And that to me can be exhausting because it's never enough. You're never going to be happy. So yeah, she said it's an oxymoron. That's an interesting thing. Dana says yes, that it's draining. No kidding, right? It's draining. It absolutely can be because you're never going to make yourself happy. You're just constantly chasing something. That's how I see it. And as a life coach, as a personal trainer, as a wellness director, I've seen a lot. I've talked to and counseled a lot of people. I'm talking in the thousands in 25 years. And have been blessed to help change their life, hopefully for the better, and to talk about some of these things. Dana, absolutely, it is draining. Let's go. Guilty, Linda says. Alicia says yes. Barbara, perfect to avoid criticism for friends and family. I didn't realize the physical and mental exhaustion that comes with it. Now you do, Barbara. I try to practice letting go. It is what it is. That's Linda's comment. I'm doing a good job. Regardless what that job is, it's very important to me. I don't care if I'm picking up sticks or washing, what's it say? Uh-oh. Or washing the car. I'd like to do the best job I can, no matter what. But sometimes I think it's her fault. Who's her? Well, I don't know. Michelle said she looked at Dude, what was it again? I forget what the hashtag. See, that's why I said write it down. Dude on the website. I can't wait to see this dog. So Dude is a dog, evidently. Okay, so Angela, I try to be everything to everyone in my life. I'm going to be right there with you, Angela. I feel like no one can be or do better than me. Yep. Trying to let someone else step in and help is nearly impossible for me to do. Yeah, what is that about us? Why is that? I tell you, I've gotten better. I mean, literally, for me to walk away from television and to know that I was launching this brand that has my good, hard-earned name behind it. You know how difficult that is? I mean, come on. Those of you that understand the perfectionism, have your name behind every aspect of your brand in every level I just mentioned to you. I am not only a broadcaster and doing the podcast, we'll be doing a YouTube TV show. I also am your coach, life coach, fitness coach, wellness umbrella, anything that falls underneath that, motivational speaker, MC, auctioneer, stylist, custom design work. I just went through 10 hats. Whew, I need a nap. I need to sleep for a week. I feel like I need to be a bear and go hibernate. I mean, trying to be perfect on every level of that, and that is who I am, and that's what I do, it gets exhausting. Now you have to understand the people around you, the people that are related to you, the people that you choose to have in a relationship, a physical, romantic relationship, your husband, your wife, your partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever it is. Think about them on the other side. If they don't meet your standards and they know that all you're looking for is perfectionism. I mean, I've heard my husband say it before when we were first dating. Yeah, I didn't think I was good enough for you because I had been married before. I had children and I was tarnished. And you had never been married, didn't have kids, and deserved all that. That's what he used to say. See, because he didn't feel like he was perfect for me, the perfect partner for me. He thought somebody should have had a higher status, made more money. And I was like, you don't know me. You don't know me. All I want is a good human being. All I want is someone who aligns with me. I want someone who has the same hobbies, and that was him. I mean, I got the bonus package that he's extremely handsome and very into fitness and well built. But more so, I care about what does he have inside. I went out with a lot of good looking men in my life. And some of them had darkness within them. They weren't ready. I wasn't ready, right? So I met some really good men. It wasn't my time or their time together. And then boom, it blossoms to, I want to be this person. Can you help me along with not always trying to be perfect? And that's the beautiful side of a relationship. You know what? This seems like a perfect time to do this. Let me grab this before we do our other devotional. You Get Me. That's the name of this book.
And he in fact did. Don't you love the fact that it's not backwards anymore? The way it's being shot now, which hopefully you can tell that it looks a little different. You can see a little bit more of the room. You Get Me is from Gary Chapman and Jen Mickleborough. Gary, of course, the author of the love languages, the 5 love languages, simple romantic ways to speak the 5 love languages. And why do things work so well when you have the right partner? Because, in fact, they do get you. You know, we did a little reading from this the other day, a couple weeks ago, the words of affirmation. So have you ever done the 5 love languages and figured out who in fact you are and what is your top love language? Well, we did words of affirmation. Let's do this. Quality time. How many of you are quality time people? I'll come back to your comments in just a second. Okay, so if you're quality time, here's what they're asking for. It could be as simple as this. And Gary says, play a board game together. Have fun playing a game. Borrow games from friends to try. You don't have to go out and buy them. Borrow one. There's a lot of people who love game night, right? Borrow from friends to try, or visit a game cafe, which we have here right here in St. Louis. Get away. And that could just be get away in your own town. It doesn't have to be spending a bunch of money. Because some people are like, oh, I don't have a bunch of money to be able to get away and go on vacation. Do a staycation. I mean, we've got a lot of things to do here in our town. In fact, I'm excited. Next week, we're going to have a guest. So Jim had a foreign exchange student about 15 years ago, before I came into his life. And she's from Belgium. And she's coming to stay with us. Sophie, I can't wait. Sophie and Olivier. And oh my gosh, I forgot their son's name. But Sophie and Olivier and their 5-year-old son is coming to stay. And so maybe I'll get a chance to introduce you to them and bring them on the show. Well, they're getting away and actually traveling to the United States for a few weeks for the first time. But if we can't get away, we can just do a staycation like we will. And we'll take her around as she's visiting. We're going to take her to what? Where should we take her, by the way? You want to chime in on this as well? We say the Arch. He's going to take him to Grant's Farm, I believe. I thought maybe the zoo, because his parents, his mother was a docent at the zoo, and his dad drove that train around, which I think is just the coolest thing to bring that connection back. We could do that, the zoo or Grant's Farm. I'm trying to figure out. Little 5-year-old. We want to take him to the brewery. I'm not sure. I think from the Clydesdale standpoint that their son will enjoy that. They'll enjoy the brewery. We want to take them to the Arch, the brewery, either the zoo or Grant's Farm. She wants to go shopping with me, of course. I'm the best person for her to go shopping with. And we're going to take them to our favorite restaurant, Trattoria Marsala, which I absolutely love. Wonderful attraction, a restaurant in our area. Linda says Botanical Gardens. Take them to the Butterfly House. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to take them to Forest Park. I think that would be wonderful, and that's why I think it'd be good to go to the zoo, and that way we could go to multiple things. So I'm voting for the zoo over Grant's Farm, even though I love Grant's Farm. But yeah, I'd love to hear you on that as well. Terry said, I love your hats. Being real is the best hat you wear. Well, thank you. Yep. Perfectionism, exhaustion, ideals, relationships. Caroline, you got those hashtags going, girl. I love it. Again, if you're just tuning in, Caroline and Michelle, if you see them in the comments, they are my moderators, part of the team. They might be able to answer you if I don't get a chance to see it. Or they might chime in with some hashtags and tagging you. So when it comes to perfectionism, right? Got to fix the hair. Can't have a hair out of place. I'm going to give the other side before I read a little bit more of this. How about the people who are on the other side? Not you trying to be perfect, but they want you. They want perfection so much that they're constantly picking at you. That they are trying to tear you down. They deflect from themselves. So they're constantly like, hey, you got a hair out of place. Now, hey, you got something on you. Well, okay, is it really that big of a deal to say in front of other people? Now, I do it to my husband. If he has... maybe he has a hair coming out of his ear, I'll just say next time when he's not around people, like, hey, just want to let you know this. If somebody has something in their teeth, that's different, right? If they've got spinach or a piece of chicken or something in their teeth, I don't know. Sometimes you tell me, do you think it's good to say in front of other people listening, or lean over, give them a kiss, whisper in their ear, hey, you got something in their teeth? I like it done that way. It's very subtle. It's very classy. Then bringing it to the attention of everybody around. I'll give an example. Doesn't matter who it is, but this person used to come over to this other person's house, and they looked up and said, hey, you got a crack in your ceiling. Hey, you got dust. Hey, do you know you got a cobweb? It's like, who cares? Why do you have to be so perfect, right? Why does everything have to be in such a perfect place? That, my friend, is exhausting. That perfectionism of, oh my gosh, if anybody comes to the house and there's a chair out of place and there's a dog hair on the floor and there's a cobweb in the ceiling. Yeah, guess what? Hello, ding dong. That, in fact, is real life, right? Hello. There it is. Isn't that real life? I'd say yes. I'd rather come to a person's home that looks like it's not so pristine and perfect, because when it is so pristine and perfect, I feel like I needed to just walk in the door and stand still. Because God forbid, I think if I do something wrong, you're going to judge me. All of that sounds exhausting to me. So, yes, I spent about an hour and a half cleaning and vacuuming yesterday. Did some of the bathrooms. I'll do a little bit more day by day so that I don't exhaust myself with all the hats that Terry just said I was wearing. Okay, I'll get it done, because what I'm trying to do is get it ready for our guests next week. And then when those guests leave, I have another guest, Todd, my dear friend I told you about. He's coming in town to stay with us the first week of June. So, will my house be perfect? No, it'll be the best version that it can be. I'm sure there's a cobweb somewhere in this house. I'm sure that as soon as I vacuum up the dog hair, another one, poof, comes off of the dogs, 10 of them. You scoop up a bunch, and then here comes 10 more. They get scared, and more come off of them. I'm serious. It's crazy. I spoke with a vet, and they said when they get nervous, they release more dog hair. So, yeah, I mean, you're constantly running after it. You'll never get anything done because you're constantly trying to be perfect. Exhausting. I'm telling you, it just feels like exhausting. Linda, it depends on what I'm doing. Some things must be perfect, others not so much. But some may say I'm a perfectionist about everything. I'm a perfectionist about a lot of things, but I'll never claim that my home is perfect because I live in it. And I have dogs. And I'm just being real. Come over to my house, but I'm going to tell you, my house is pretty. I think anybody that's been here would say, oh yeah, it's very warm. That's what's important. I don't want to live in a museum. I want a warm, welcoming home over something that looks like I'm walking into a museum that I can't touch. Don't touch that, young kid. You're going to break the statue. That's what I feel like sometimes. I'm not perfect, but I try to be perfect for myself. Okay, for you. All right, that's good to hear. All right, what else do we have here? Who else? Love you commenting. Okay, City Museum. Oh, Mom says City Museum. Hey, Mom, thanks for that. That's the ideas that we have for our guests that are coming in. That's a good one. Okay, if you have to run at any point, just remember that the show is always here for you. After it wraps up, you get an opportunity to go back and fast forward and listen to any part that you missed. Terry said, I love the props. That is not necessary to embarrass to say things out loud. Right, see? I don't think so either, because what is that? Why do you do that? Anybody that does that, why do you do it? Who are you trying to embarrass? Okay. So Heather said as well, City Museum and or Magic House. Oh gosh, I like that. I haven't been to the Magic House in forever. You know what? Thank you for that. City Museum. I'm gonna write these down. Here's my journal. City Museum, Magic House. Great one for the kids. You got that right. Botanical Gardens. I wonder how much we could do. We're just gonna exhaust the day. And yeah, Forest Park is just so beautiful. I think that would be fun. And Butterfly House, somebody said. Those are good ones. It's still back and forth on whether we go to the zoo or we go to Grants Farm. West of here, Warm Spring Ranch near Columbia, Missouri. Yeah, Maryland, it's hard to go outside of here. Crown Candy, that's a good one. The Cathedral Basilica, Main Street in St. Charles. Well, that's a good one because that actually would be a great place for us to go shopping. I agree. You know what? That's a good one. Thanks, Maryland. See, I love this community that we have together. Wineries, my favorite is Cedar Lake. My friend owns that. Carl Bohm. Carl owns that. The Fox Theater, yeah, just to see it. We don't have a lot of time. They're here from late Tuesday night through Sunday, and Jim leaves to go to the Indy 500 on Saturday night, so I'll actually be the one saying goodbye to her. But yeah, boy, these are good ones. I love you all. I just love you. I just love how we come together. I don't know if I missed anybody. If I did, I'm sorry for that. Great gift. Great gift for Monica. Sweeper. Cannot think of the name. Roomba. Yeah, but the Roomba, I'm afraid that that little robotic thing is going to irritate the dogs. Like if I have that running, how many of you have dogs? Does it irritate them? I think Adelaide would just jump at it regularly. Tessa would probably be scared. I don't want to change their personality. Union Station. Yeah, that could be a good one. Thank you, by the way. Somebody want to give me automatic runs over the floors. I think it's the Roomba. My daughter is a perfectionist, unlike her parents. I just feel perfectionists are devastated when something does happen in life. Yeah, Cheryl. Purina Farms and Union Station with the Ferris wheel. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the part of Union Station. Gosh darn it, we need more than... I mean, look at that. See, we haven't even left St. Louis, and look at all the things that we can do. Fitz's is fun. Okay, that's a good one. Union Station, you're right. The wheel and the aquarium. I got to find out any of these things that they have been able to, like, I don't want to repeat something that they have in Belgium. She's going to make us some crepes, though, and she's bringing us some Belgian chocolate. I'm excited about that. Grant's Farm. Terry says Grant's Farm. You say Grant's Farm over the zoo, huh? Interesting. I don't know if I've missed anybody. Let's go on with this. So we're talking about quality time, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing together. Heather said my dog attacks the Roomba. See, that's what I'm afraid of. Marilyn, I don't know about that. The Roomba, I do want to make it easy on myself, and so instead of always vacuuming, I've got hardwood floors and I have carpeting. So I do need to get the Swiffer. And then the wet, do you like the wet jet Swiffer? I'd like to have my floors just be pristine and beautiful looking. They're not going to be perfect, but I'd like them to have that shine. My dog attacks the Roomba. Yeah, both are great. Okay. Agua, hydration. Let's do it. Okay, quality time that we're going to be spending with Sophie and Olivier and her son. The big questions. Ask them about their life dreams. And then the getaway was plan a weekend away for just the two of you. This is for relationships, by the way. Take care of all the details, including childcare if needed, or somebody watching the dogs. That's big as well. I'd love to get away, but a lot of times it's like you don't want to bother someone to watch the animals. That's the hard part. And we have 3 now, which is even harder than saying, hey, Mom, can you watch the dogs for us? Plan a family outing or a weekend trip if childcare is not available. That's a good one. Ooh, a coffee date. So my husband drinks coffee, I drink tea, but I do love a coffee house. I love the music in a coffee house. It's like that meditation music or a little jazzy, folky. Take them out for coffee just to catch up on life. Yeah. Or to make time for the big conversations that can be hard to fit in. Join one of their activities. So think about what they like to do. Like my husband likes to go to a shooting range, and thankfully I like to learn from him. Join one of their activities that you wouldn't normally do with them. Okay. Sweet dreams. So he does go to bed early. Isn't this funny? My life completely flipped. So where I had to get up at 1:30 in the morning for like almost 30 years, I now am up later than him. I tuck him into bed like a little child. I give him a kiss goodnight. He goes to bed now because he has to get up at 4, and he leaves the house at 5. So, forget that video I did saying I want to watch a sunset, or a sunrise. I want to watch a sunrise with my husband. And that flipped, by the way, to a sunset because his schedule had to flip right away. So sweet dreams. Yeah, tuck them into bed at night and say, I love you. Oh, I like this one. Dining al fresco. Take them on a picnic. One of the number one, and then that's something I would love to do as well, if the weather cooperates, at the Forest Park. Jim and my favorite date from when we dated the first time around back in 2001 to when we got back together. We go to the Muni, and we love going and packing a picnic. How many of you do that? Do you like that? Take them on a picnic, pack sandwiches, or visit a deli and buy some treats. Go at sunrise or sunset with candles for a magical touch. How many of you have forgotten about how fun it is to do a picnic together? Get active. Try out a new sport. That's one of the things that we both enjoyed is bike riding. We haven't done that in forever. We've got to get back on our bikes. Got to slow down, Monica. Listen to their worries. Ask them how they're doing. Really stay and listen. Don't get ready to say what you want to see. I see so many people who do not know the art of listening. Having the patience to truly listen and not think about what you're trying to say next. Ask them how they're doing. Take time to listen to how they're feeling without trying to solve anything. Take in the air. Sit in the yard or on the balcony on a nice evening. I love a good patio. Take your meal outside and enjoy that space together. Learn together. Take a class together. That'd be fun. And then unplug. Turn off that phone. Turn off the tablet for the evening. Give them your undivided attention. When's the last time you did that? Try a new restaurant or a cuisine. And I said it earlier, if you've never tried Trattoria Marsala, it is the most incredible. They regularly get one of the top restaurants, top Italian. They're just off the hill. Or cook a new recipe together. I like that. Put on the aprons, cook a new recipe together. Be flirtatious in the kitchen. Dance around the kitchen. That's one of my favorite things as well. Ask them for a list of 5 things that they enjoy doing, then do one each month for the next 5 months. Oh, I like that. Take them to a dessert or a cheese bar for an evening date, or just go out for an evening coffee. Yeah, you may have dinner at home and say, hey, let's go out and let's have some dessert together. And by the way, I love Cyrano's in Webster Groves. Incredible place for dessert. We haven't done that in a while. I'm going to get back to doing some of these. Movie night. Find a movie you'd both love to watch together. Go out or snuggle up at home. Speaking of which, there's a new My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 coming out, and they go to Greece. Can't wait for that one to come out. Guaranteed he and I will go to that one. Take an evening stroll. Go for a relaxed evening walk together. Or I said earlier, take a bike ride. And hey, mystery dates. Plan a secret date and a surprise, and take them out on a surprise night. Arrange for a babysitter or a dog sitter if needed. Adelaide just jumped up on the chair next to me. Hi, sweet baby. Are you here with Mama? Oh, you look tired. Tourist in your own town, just exactly what we're getting ready to do. Visit a local garden, a gallery, a museum, or historic attraction together. Discover somewhere new or share a place that's meaningful to one of you. And as the day ends, make hot chocolate to share at the end of a long day, or spend time catching up over a special dessert just for the two of you. And an impromptu date, some of the best. If possible, invite them out for lunch spontaneously. So those are for you that like quality time. And this is a cute little book, but it also gives you some ideas. Next time we get to it, it'll be gifts. That's my love language, by the way. Not necessarily receiving them, but boy, do I love to give gifts. This is called You Get Me, and it's Gary Chapman and Jen Mickleborough. I love incorporating different books that I think can really help change your life. So it's 7:51, and we've been talking about the dark side of perfectionism. You've been chiming in. I asked you, what is perfectionism? Do you try to be perfect for everyone or everything? And how's it working for you? So before we talk about our 100 days to freedom from shame, oh, Barbara, that's a good one. Make s'mores. Gosh, there was a place over by Forest Park. I don't think it's there anymore. Actually, it is there, but they flipped. It was a coffee house right there at Skinker and Clayton. Darn it, I forget the name of it. Gosh, it almost came to me. It's like Kodiak, maybe? Something on those lines. Anyway, it flipped. I think it flipped to like a Starbucks or something, which is such a shame. But they had the best s'more making in town. And I bet you that they don't do it anymore at the big box place. The Boathouse in Forest Park, eat outside and take a boat ride. Terry, one of my favorite things to do. I've done that with different dates over the years, before Jim and with Jim. Yep, very romantic and active. You get them both together. Trail walk and a picnic. Pickle Creek is a great trail. Oh, Pickle Creek is. I've been there as well. Hashtag post-relationship, hashtag rebuilding yourself. I love that. Missy, good morning from Tuscany. Are you kidding me? Give me a break here. My brother and sister-in-law are off on a French Riviera cruise, and then they're going to go to Spain for a few days. You're in Tuscany? I'm so jealous. I have got to get to Italy. So that's one thing that we want to do. How many of you have visited the heritage of your family, your heritage, your tradition, your genealogy? So my background in my family is German and like Bohemian, Czechoslovakian. That's from my mom's side. And then Scottish and Irish and Scottish from my dad's side. So I'd love to go to Germany, which would take care of my mom and Jim's father. And then I'd love to go to Ireland and Scotland for my dad's side. And then we have to go to Italy because Jim's mom was Italian. And Sicily is where their family was from. But I want to go to Milan, of course, for fashion. I want to go to Tuscany for incredible wine. I'd like to go to Florence. I hear that's pretty. Got to go to Rome. Don't want to stay in Rome too long. I want to visit everything else. Got to get there. It's on my bucket list. Got to make that happen. So she says it's beautiful. Headed to Florence and Venice. Oh yeah, Venice I've heard was good as well. I've got to go to Milan though. You know, I'm just so very big into fashion. Got to go to Milan. I mean, look what's over my shoulder, right? It's all about fashion. Fashion, fashion, fashion everywhere. And I don't know if you can see that halo. It's not a halo as in the halo light, or a halo as in being an angel. That is an incredible wine, and you know I love wine. So Missy just left Rome. That's amazing. Ireland and Scotland for mom, Germany and England for dad. For you? Oh my gosh, I love that. My daughter is a junior in high school. One of her classes is history of St. Louis. Oops, it just bounced. Milan would be your forte. Yeah, that's what I hear. I hear that, Missy. Thank you for tuning in, by the way, from Italy, taking some time to join the Real Monica Adams podcast on your vacation. I mean, I am honored. One of her classes is a history of St. Louis. Great class, and an educational one about our own city. That's awesome. Okay, making s'mores. Yep, heard about that one. Did I miss anybody? Oh, Daniel Boone Home and Boonefield Village in Defiance. Yes, great history. That would be good. Ted Drew's. Oh, that's right. We've got to take that family to Ted Drew's. Thank you for that one. I've got a lot that we've got to pack in. I better take some time off somehow. Ted Drew's or Big Bear Fountain for ice cream. I've never been there. I have not been there. Yeah, the boat ride would be fun, wouldn't it be? Maybe we need to put that down. Don't know how many things we can squeeze in, but we'll do it. Sounds like I need somebody to watch the dogs. I'm going to be away. Purina Farms, Union Station. We got that. Fitz's Grants Farm. I think I saw everybody's comment. Not sure. If I didn't, I apologize. Okay, 7:55. I loved having you with me today. I'm going to read from this. So grab that pen and paper, and please do me a favor, and anything that, oh, you know what? I'm sorry, we're going to skip this one because we're already on the day 3 for this one. We haven't gotten through day 2 of the anger one, or the fear and anxiety. Let me look for a second. Carrie, I apologize, but we're already ready for day 3 of that one, which means that one of these is only on day 1, and we've got to get to day 2. And I think it's this one. Yes, it is. So we'll skip that. We'll come to shame. 100 Days to Freedom from Anger. We're going to do that one, okay? Because this, we have not done day 2 yet. All right, ready? So go ahead and grab your pen and paper. We've got 5 minutes left in the show. Anger management. People with understanding control their anger. A hot temper shows great foolishness. And this kind of blends into the dark side of perfectionism because you do have resentment. You do look at everybody else and say they're lazy. I'm going to tell you right now, I've done it. Okay, that's in the past. Terry says today is National Barbecue Day. Oh, well, get out and barbecue. I looked outside. It looked like it was raining earlier. It looks like the rain stopped. That's your weather forecast. That for right now, down south, it's not raining. Yeah, it's okay. They're all good. Okay, Carrie, I apologize for that, but we definitely have already done day 2 on that one. So how do you manage your anger? Are you doing good? Do you have resentment? You have anxiety and fear, and is that all out there because you're trying to be perfect, exhausted? Just breathe. Breathing techniques. That's something that we're really needing to work on together. That's something that when we are talking about putting together the retreat, by the way, Carrie reached out to me and said that she and a friend of hers want to go to the retreat. That's supposed to be coming up in about 2.5 weeks. We are finalizing that. We'll get the marketing out and we'll let you know when, in fact, you can buy tickets to that. One of the things, is breathing, meditation, clarity, energy, good energy work. Those are the things that you need when you try to be so perfect and you're running and chasing life and you get angry. So we're getting you on day 2 free from anger. By the way, that people with understanding and controlling their anger and a hot temper showing great foolishness, that comes from Proverbs 14, verse 29, in case you have a Bible and you want to look that up. Well, you may have heard the phrase anger management. There's, in fact, even a movie about it. The phrase is somewhat of a misnomer because the goal is not simply managing anger when the feelings arise, but dealing with what is creating the anger. That is where control comes into play. Many people think that the idea that we have control in our lives is an illusion. However, you do control many things in your life. For example, you probably aren't lashing out at your boss or your pastor, hopefully, right? It's almost like, or a doctor. Sometimes you might get mad at a doctor, but you also probably just put them in a certain light and think, I'm not going to lash out at them. We can stop rage almost instantly, depending on the target. We might lash out at the driver in the next lane. Yeah, massive road rage out there. And then pull into the church parking lot with a smile on her face. There goes into the fakeness. Why can't you just be real? Period. Everywhere. And don't do the angry. Don't come out of church and scream at your kids and smack the kids. I see that so often. I just think that is, it doesn't even make sense to me. You just try to feel like you cleansed your soul and you're in a good place. And you walk out of church and I've seen people smack their kids across the face, scream at them, belittle them. And I'm like, okay, now you're showing your true colors, right? Scripture indicates that the evidence of great foolishness is a hot temper. Learning to control anger, well, it's not about suppressing that emotion, which can actually fuel the flames. How many times have I said pushing down the emotion will just make you erupt like a volcano? Understanding what drives that anger, where did it come from? How deep did you push it down without creating more problems? There are ways to express the anger, right? Understanding what drives it is the key to controlling the anger. Understanding where the emotional reaction is coming from can also provide insight to a solution that's right around the corner. Now remember, the goal isn't to manage the anger. It is to understand and control what drives the powerful emotion, using it for good. After all, doesn't anyone want to be viewed? Does anyone want to be viewed as a fool? Let me say that again. Does anyone want to be viewed as a fool? Do you want to be called a fool? I wouldn't think so. I don't. From Billy Graham, hot heads and cold hearts never solved anything. From Charles Spurgeon, do not say, quote, I cannot help having a bad temper. Friend, you must help it. Pray to God to help you overcome it at once. To either you must kill it or it will kill you. Yeah, just think about what stress can do to you. It can really make you sick physically and take you into some dark, dark places. And then you are just physically sick and you bring on illnesses. You cannot carry a bad temper into heaven. That's from Charles Spurgeon. Beth Moore says, make no mistake, Satan's specialty is psychological warfare. If he can turn us on God, he'll try, or turn us on others, or turn us on ourselves. Like, I'm so stupid. Like, that's what you say to yourself. Or on others, you deflect and say, it's their fault. It's not my fault. Pass the buck, pass the buck. How many times do you do that? That's your own inner battle. You'll never have the strength to stand up and fight, for the true enemy is there. For further reflection, you can go to Ephesians 4:29 through 32, or Romans 12:17 through 21, and James 1:19 through 21. Further reflection on this particular topic. So today's prayer. Lord Jesus, I want to grow in understanding and wisdom so I can serve you and be the person you created me to be. Through the power of your Holy Spirit working in me, help me have self-control and to not be governed by anger. In your name I pray. Amen. I love that. Boy, doesn't it just make you feel better when we do these devotionals? I hope so. I hope it's a part of your life. I don't care if you're not religious. Maybe these just make you feel a little bit better about yourself. You don't have to be. So we're on day 3 of 100 Days to Freedom from Anger. We're on day 3 of 100 Days to Freedom from Shame. And I believe we should be on day 3. Let's check. Yes, day 3 on 100 Days to Freedom from Depression. So we can do shame tomorrow for you, Carrie, for sure. And 100 Days to Freedom from Fear and Anxiety. Yes, so we've gone through all of those. We've done 8 devotionals together. So somebody said it was National Barbecue Day. That's Terry. National Mimosa Day, Carrie says. Carrie, I did not know that. Okay, I'm thinking we need to do a little of that. Also Mimosa Day. Oh, Michelle says it as well. Do something nice for your neighbor's day. Oh, I like that. Ear piercing day. I've already got my ears pierced. I have doubles, but how often do you all wear double piercings? I had one up here that I did when I was in college. That wasn't good, right? You have a little bit too much to drink. You get the ice cube out and you poke it yourself. And now there's cartilage I can feel because I don't ever wear anything up there. Love a Tree Day. Okay, but I also want to say this, and let me actually put this behind me. It is National Police Week. And I'm going to take down the halo, and I'm going to put this back up for the entire week because I am very proud to have that behind me. National Police Week. I'd love to get a really handsome police officer on with me. Wink, wink, wink. I know he's not watching because he doesn't have social media. When we get this on YouTube, he can at least watch that. I'd love to get him on for so many reasons. I know a lot of you are always commenting on pictures or you see videos of the two of us, but you've never really heard from him, have you? He's kind of camera shy, but I'm working on him. If I can get him on with me, I will do that, and I'd love to bring him on maybe sometime later in the week. So proudly supporting our men and women who wear blue, or in the county they wear brown. Thank a police officer this week for what they do. You know, it's not an easy job. They run into what we run away from, and that they're just incredible heroes, truly heroes. That should stay up on the wall. Love it, and back the blue. All right, we'll make it a part of the set, and maybe I can bring it into the studio. Ooh, I like that idea, actually. We'll see if there's an area of the wall that we can put that on. Yeah, I love it, and I will forever back our police as a proud police officer wife. Thank a police officer this week, please. It is their week, National Police Officers Week. So we'll let you know different things that are coming up. Michelle's done a great job. Michelle and Caroline are my little moderators. Michelle has told me different things that are coming up this week and throughout the month, and we'll jump on those and do some of those things together. So I hope today helped you. Again, we talked about the dark side of perfectionism. Tomorrow we're going to talk about breaking habits. Breaking habits is hard, Carrie says. Fakeness on Thursday and how to not fall into their game. We're going to be talking about mentorship. We'll talk about, again, being disabled friends, living with a disabled person. Those are some of the topics coming up. We also will talk about artificial intelligence. Ooh, I got some stories to share about that. You should have a mural done in the studio of the flag and the blue line. Yeah, I got to look at that. That's a good idea. That's a good idea, Terry. Let's look at the wall space that we have left, because there's a lot of things that have changed since you've probably seen some of those pictures. A lot of things that are going to be incorporated into the studio. We've got shelving. I could at least put maybe a smaller version of that because Jim's building me those floating shelves. Yeah, thank you, by the way, for all of you that have tuned in. We had a really great audience today. And don't forget, here's the thing I need you to do. Please, for me, share, share, share. So when I ask you to share the broadcast, it is to your family and to your friends all over the United States, all over the world, so that they know that we're actually doing this together. So that they know that we're trying to do the triangle of life theory, the mental, the physical, and the spiritual balance, and to allow all of us to heal from the past. You don't let those people who hurt you in the past, the abusers, the trauma, the toxicity, don't let them have any space in your mind or in your heart. Let that release and start living your best version. So again, I want to thank all of you for your kindness. I want to thank you for being with us on this Real Monica Adams podcast. And again, if you would like to be a part of the show, as you see scrolling down below, if you would like to be, or you know someone who would like to be a sponsor, have them reach out to me. I don't care if it's a small business that wants to be on one time. We have different sponsorship levels, different tiers. The naming rights, of course, are taken by Envita Health and Wellness. They are our title sponsor, and they have so many things that they offer at their location on Kirkwood Road that we will be bringing Dr. Sarah back on in about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, to talk about IV hydration therapy that they offer there. And the interesting thing is that you can overdo it. When we talk about vitamins and supplements, that's right. You can absolutely overdo it. If you or someone you know wants to be a part of the show, boom, right there. You see that? It says info@therealmonicaadams.com. Type that in, shoot me an email, and I'd love to talk to you and see how we can make this work together. Thank you so very much for being a part of the show today. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, not just today, but changing lives together. And we'll do it again.